Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, whatever time of the day you find yourself tuning in, listening to this particular video. Good day to you. My name is Jerrie'Me, right? For those of you who may not know, I'm actually signing on today, Saturday, April the 16th. April the 17th, 2021. Happy birthday, Jazz. If you happen to watch or listen to this particular video. Nevertheless, I actually came home today and came across a video I missed, being that I was out of town for a week. And this particular video was recorded on my sister's birthday, which was April the 4th. So it was recorded on 4/4/21 this year, Resurrection Sunday. And I actually came across this video on today, and it actually, this incident actually happened in upstate of South Carolina, whereby an officer was accused of, putting cuffs around his knuckles and punching a black guy in the face. And after being accused of that, this particular officer actually was taking this guy out of the car, and in doing so, he actually tightened the cuffs on his hands and dragging him out of the car. As soon as his butt hits the ground, his head is now in between the car door, the panel of the door, and the officer proceeds to slam the door on this particular guy's head. Therefore, he actually slammed his head in the car door. Um, and seeing this particular video, there was no way I would not go throughout this day, or I would go throughout this day and not record a video on what I have seen. And I'm actually going to put this particular link in the description for all of you to actually watch what happens in this particular case. Now, the guy's already accusing this officer of, using excessive force before this particular incident happened. And then he goes on to slam this guy's head in the door. I couldn't believe it myself, but it lets you know, as I stated on the reaction video to Dante Wright, that as black men in this particular country, there are things that we have to face as black young men in this country that other races and other genders do not have to face, and that's just the reality of the whole matter. And as I stated, I'm going to share this particular link in the description below, whereby you will be able to see this particular video for yourself. And this is something that occurred in, as I stated, upstate South Carolina, which will be your Greenville, South Carolina area. It will be your Spartanburg, South Carolina area. Anywhere up in upstate South Carolina, these bigger cities such as Greenville or Spartanburg, where this particular incident happened at. I know for sure it said that it happened in Greenville County. This incident happened in Greenville County, and why I definitely needed to record this video, as I've stated on a past recording video that I made in December, as it pertains to Kershaw County, South Carolina, which is bordering Richland County, here in South Carolina, about the officers in this particular county that have been doing underhanded things. In fact, truth be told, I believe in 2019, this particular officer actually, this particular officer actually, got upset with me because, I actually utilized my First Amendment right, and I used my freedom to speak. And in doing so, I guess she definitely felt some type of way, and me speaking out made her feel some type of way. Therefore, it put her in a position whereby she wanted to show me she basically was in charge. And in doing so, I was arrested on that particular day because I actually spoke up and used my First Amendment right, which is the freedom of speech. But in doing so, of course, she didn't have, this was not a lawful arrest, yet and still, being that, I basically kind of made her feel some type of way, and she wasn't having it. Patrolman Kelly from the Camden Police Department goes on to want to prove this point that she's basically in charge. And at that moment, that was when she actually tries to handcuff me. And of course, being that she didn't have a right to arrest me, I resisted at that moment. Now, if I could take that back, I wouldn't resist because I knew that there was nothing that I've done. There was no crime that I committed that I could be arrested for. Nevertheless, I felt as though if they were going to arrest me, let me give them a reason to arrest me. And I guess, as you grow older, you get a little more wisdom. The wisest thing to do in that particular moment would have been to basically just to comply and take that ride and leave it at that. But during that particular during that particular arrest, she actually tased me excessively. She actually tased me excessively. I actually have proof whereby, the marks were, still on my body where, she actually overtased me in that particular situation. And being that there were little bruises or whatnot, it was something that I could deal with, and I didn't even make a big deal about it. Nevertheless, you do have officers all around this particular country, particularly in this county, that actually, do underhanded things. And many times officers do these things because they know they can get away with it. And there's no one who's actually going to step up and speak out about it or going to speak up against it. Therefore, I've decided to make it my business to speak up more about these injustices that we see more and more today than we have ever seen in any time in our lives. But this particular individual, I believe his name is Stephon Hopkins. Stephon Hopkins did not deserve his head and his neck being slammed in the door of the police car. By no means should that officer have did what he did to Mr. Hopkins. Yet and still, as I stated, these officers do these things because they know that they can get away with it. But I thank God for a hometown individual by the name of Clementa Pinckney, who actually pushed for, as he worked in the Senate, he pushed for the body cameras here in South Carolina, and that bill was passed right before he was actually murdered in Charleston, South Carolina, as he was the pastor of Mother Emanuel. Nevertheless, we need more people who are actually pushing for stronger bills and laws today that we can actually see the fruit of their labor, their work. And Clementa Pinckney actually pushed for that, and because he pushed for it, we can hold more officers accountable today than ever before in history. Yet and still, I'm going to sign off, but yet and still, I encourage you to take time to watch the video that is in the link below, where this young individual actually had his head and neck slammed into the door of a police officer car. Jerrie'Me, right? I'm signing off. Take care. God bless you all.